Opa, salve, salve galera. Só uma livezinha fora do horário aí, vamos estar reagindo aos anúncios da Band sobre a nova temporada e a nova expansão. Beleza? Vamos tá acompanhando junto aí. Beleza? Tá.
What I'm trying to say is, Destiny 2 is so much more than the game we see in trailers. While many joined for the fantasy, we found a home amongst its people. And in the endgame, we stayed for the discos, the DPS, the grenades, the bad bubbles, burgers, and tannics behind every corner. Trombone medleys, laser tag, tower names, yeehaws, the dings, the punts, the clutcher kicks, sweeper bots, stasis crystals, cheese spots, raid callouts, pub song, ramen, sliding, chicken petting, Galahorn, Sepix Prime, shiny swords,
Thank you so much for joining us today. We are so excited to dive in and talk about just the kind of journey of being a massive Destiny and Bungie fan and what that's like to go from massive fan to actually working at the company that we loved so much. I want to learn about your journeys. How did you get started playing as a player, not as somebody who works here, playing Destiny, and kind of how has that relationship with the game evolved through the years? You know what, T, you and I, we've had many conversations, work session. I want to hear from you, buddy.
So I've been playing the game for a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
And so, as proof of my, the D1 Alpha veteran status, I have my raid belt here today. This is my cringe moment where I will be proud.
It's nice to see one in person. I've only seen it on like screens and like screenshots.
Tell us a little bit about it. Like, how'd you get it? When'd you get it?
That is the King's Fall World's first belt. Me and my 5 friends, we asked, I say,
E será que foi uma indireta? Será que foi uma indiretinha aí pra próxima raid? Que vai voltar?
having fun and showing off the new stuff. And for me, I always loved raiding just because like I'm a problem solver by heart. Like that's also why I love working here, because that's what I do is I just kind of solve problems that are really complicated. Yeah. That's really exhilarating. And now is very fun being able to watch others suffer for 24 hours.
Oh yeah.
Because it is exhausting. So if you are listening to this and you are raiding, or if you're planning on raiding for a long time, drink water.
Oh, Leviosa.
Thank you.
Obrigado pelo.
I'm very much
Quem foi?
on this in terms of like the loving the problem solving.
Melo.
I really fell in love with Destiny when I started raiding, and that was like my
Melo.
where I was like
Melo?
playing puzzle games.
Obrigado pelo follow. Não consegui pronunciar seu nome direito. Desculpa aí qualquer coisa. Seja muito bem-vindo. Sinta-se à vontade aí, tá ok? Vamos acompanhar os anúncios da Band pro Destiny.
Like the number one story for me around that is definitely Deepstone. Deepstone, I played all the way through Deepstone with my clan, which was amazing.
When you look back at the history of Destiny, there's so many moments like that, and I'm kind of interested on, is there any characters or story moments that really stick out to you from our history?
I feel like that's Destiny at its best, is when you are learning from it. Yes. Like, at least for me, I feel like the journey of Eris. Yes. From like D1 and being like, who are you? What are you doing here?
This is weird chick.
Yeah, it's like super creepy, right?
Eu tô confundindo com o meu chat, eu vou tirar isso aqui daqui.
Seeing where she is now and then how she's like really helped everyone.
Tá bom assim, será?
A lot of people. I'm a huge Zavala fan. I'm a Titan. It's just like in my blood. So like for me, like seeing Eris like help all of these different characters, seeing Zavala come.
Não ajudou muito.
A lot of people again. I know some folks that don't really like him that much, but to me, he always just seemed like a really father figure who's trying his best for everyone. When Cade died, right? I think people were like, what? Like Zavala, why aren't you doing this? XYZ. And then we got to learn more about him. So for me, Zavala is like number one. I like that, his whole character arc, and then Eris and like her character arc. You're all insufferable to then like teaching everybody how to deal with their demons. Yeah. I think is
that's the narrative.
Kind of crazy.
Incredible.
Speaking to now and like through season 17, how Eris, she's like one of the epitomes of grief in her whole story, and how she evolved to something where she's like, I had to learn how to deal with grief on my own. And to see her evolve to a character that is like helping people go through their own grief. It's Bungie, what the heck? Like, how do you do
and
this?
And how patient she was. Like the fact that like when Crow would stumble or Zavala would stumble, she'd be like, take a step back. Patience. Healing doesn't happen overnight. And
Exactly.
I think what we've seen in the last couple of seasons of the incredible narrative team and just diving deeper into all of the characters, I think that's one of my favorite things that we've seen from the kind of expansion from where we started to where we're at now, is just that deeper dive. And I know kind of where we're going with things, and just like the more that we're going to be able to dive into and hear characters' backstories and understand where they're coming from and what makes them, I think to everyone's point, it just makes
5
it more
minutos,
than
6 minutos,
just a
6
shooter
minutos.
game. You have that additional aspect of these incredible stories that we all connect with in different ways, and it just makes it, it's the Bungie magic, it's the space magic, it's the thing that like that.
then you do a little emote jig at the end.
Yeah, exactly, and it all somehow and it all makes sense.
It's called Glimmer Guns.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, how cool is it like that we're here now? And I'm kind of interested, like, knowing your long relationship with this game before you even worked here, and then that we're sitting on this couch getting to nerd out and talk about the things that we love the most. How has that been, making that transition? What was that inspiration that drove you to be like, you know what, I'm gonna put my application in, we'll see what happens?
This is my first gaming studio for sure.
Yeah.
It's getting into Bungie is interesting because I always wanted to be in tech. That's really where I started. For Destiny specifically, I played it every day, but I never really thought of it as a place to work until Black at Bungie. And so I reached out to a bunch of people on LinkedIn and was asking a bunch of questions. I was like, hey, look. So it was really amazing to be able to like get into the industry and get into Bungie.
Destiny for me was, that was back when I was streaming for fun. It was just a hobby, but then it became just a lot more to me because it has all these things I love about games, because I love RPGs and I love, you know, like the game feel of a Bungie game, right? When like you shoot that gun for the first time and it just feels good, you know?
Space magic.
Yeah, space magic.
Space magic.
Like,
And I always play the wizard, so I played the warlock.
you know, that's all
Opa,
you
me
do.
identifiquei
You have
com.
space magic in every game that I
Me
play.
identifiquei ali, hein?
So to me, the game's a lot. Like, it's kind of just, it gave me a career. It gave me like guidance in life for finding a community that I really love. And now I'm absurdly thankful that I can be a part of the team and hopefully make the game better to hopefully have that kind of impact on somebody else.
I knew that I wanted to work in gaming. I actually got the opportunity not from the Bungie career website, but from a Twitter post from
Tweet.
a Twitter post. And I immediately sent a message and connected, and I was like, I want to talk about these marketing opportunities. And now I'm here.
Now you're here. You love to see it.
So, and it's just even now, just the fact that I'm sitting here, I'm just like,
You shot your shot,
oh
dude.
my
That's what
gosh,
life's about.
Literally, I shot my
You
shot.
shot your
I'm like, this is what they mean, because you hear them throw that phrase around and you're just like, well, what does it actually mean to shoot your shot? And it's like, no, it's like, you're not going to respond on Twitter. It's like, I'm going to find you in other places.
Even if
and
you
you're
have
gonna
those
give me
moments of
your-
doubt. Even if you have that moment of fear, because sometimes making a jump like that's scary.
That's scary.
If you're scared,
Absolutely.
do it anyway.
Yeah. The leap into Bungie was really similar to Will's story. This is my
3
first
minutos,
role in
galera. 3
gaming,
minutos,
so it
3
was
minutos.
this like huge leap to, I had been working in marketing for a long time, but I really wanted to make the switch to something that I'm really passionate about and something that I love, because I think
Cadê o
that's
meu
what
Luke Smith?
makes
Olha os caras aí.
so magical, is when you get to work on something you really care about and you really, really love and you feel passionate about. So that for me was the kind of thing that pushed me towards shooting my shot and taking my shot a couple years ago and making the switch over to Bungie. And it's been incredible. There's moments like this where it feels very surreal, where you're like, what is happening? This is very, very, just like to have that, like, we all work at Bungie now. Like, we get to contribute to that thing that we all love so much, and that's incredible.
I'm sorry, but that's such a good point, because there's so many people that ask us like advice on how to get in, and I was rejected numerous times before finally getting that spot. And you know, I know it breaks my heart because so many other people are in that same position, and then they stop chasing that dream, because like, this isn't my first gaming job. I've been working in this industry for almost 20 years and as a journalist, and it was really scary to make that jump. I felt like it was right. I kept applying for narrative, and you know, granted, I sent them not appropriate fan fiction as writing samples, so I get it. Like, no hard feelings. I get it. They were like, you know, it was just, they were like, hey, we think you'd be a good fit for community. Like, let's put you through that interview process, and we did that, and it was scary at first, but the more I kept interviewing, I was like, wait, no, this is this was made for me. Like, this is what I was supposed to do. And it was funny because all of
O resto já vem bugada na temporada, padrão.
because I felt like it was family.
I'd like to think that Bungie gives space for that human condition, that human element. It's a place where I can feel
Menos de 2 minutos, menos de 2 minutos.
I am being taken care of. And I'd like to think that, you know, we're not perfect and there's things we can improve upon, but we try to talk about those things.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. It was honestly so much fun just diving into your stories a little bit, not just like as devs and working on Bungie side, but as players before that and the journey into that. I'm really also excited.
E aí, Felipe? Belebelebelebelebo.
To meet me, Matt, in the back. We're gonna do a blanket burrito. And we're gonna
Belebelebelebebo.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So ready.
1 minuto, 1 minuto, 1 minuto.
Burrito, yeah?
Yeah.
Blanket
1 minuto, 1 minuto, 1 minuto, 1 minuto, 1 minuto.
for here at Bungie.
Olá, velho amigo.
What? They're like corrupted gold. No.
Are they using supers?
That's what I want in Destiny. I want dark.
Eu já tô arrepiado, velho.
I just got chills.
This is everything I've ever wanted out of this.
Fica sentada pra não cair. Pô, tenho certeza.
Oh my god, I love it. Boom. Dang. Growth is nasty, son.
Você cede a sua vida.
No! Woo! The Leviathan is back. A scythe? A freaking scythe!
Onde está Carlos? Ele se entregou por completo à testemunha.
Yay!
That was hot.
Sir, are you okay? Oh, you look nasty.
What the frig? Is that the witness? Man, that's crazy!
Vai começar. Olha, eu tô todo arrepiado, velho. Começou.
Welcome, Guardians. So awesome to be here with you again.
Last time we got up here, we got a chance to show you Savathun, the Witch Queen, and her majestic throne world.
Since then, it's been a wild year for Destiny.
You returned to the original Loot Cave to reclaim the fabled Gallarhorn.
Then, you exorcised an ancient evil from a hive queen, so you could put it inside a grenade launcher.
And now,
É
we've been
verdade.
spending the past few weeks cleansing a derelict Leviathan from its twisted nightmares.
In fact, the last year has been the best year we've ever had in the Destiny community. I hope you can feel it as well. And seeing this kind of reaction from our community, it's both humbling and inspiring.
Because our team here at Bungie, we're not just developers, we're also guardians. We're trying to build what we'd love
São
to play in
tudo
Destiny,
titã essas porra.
and that's what brought each one of us here. Brought us not only to Bungie, but also brought all of us to this final showdown between light and darkness.
Puta que pariu. Confronto final.
Without further ado, this is the beginning of the end. This is Lightfall.
Puta que pariu. Começou com a Lightfall, é foda, velho. Última cidade. No way. A pirâmide.
Este glorioso fim.
Caralho, os cabal com a treva.
Eles virão atrás de nós. Para saborear até a última gota desta beneficente.
No way! É a primeira vez que ele apareceu.
Eles são assim.
Que...
Que venham e vejam.
Quem porra é aquele, velho?
Ser revelada.
É o Calo.
O que fizerem, então.
Não sei, eu tô...
Livres de esperança.
Oh, a super. A nova super aí, ó. Da treva.
Realmente são. Pois só nos tornamos livres. Quando chega ao
Ah, não, velho. Que cidade é essa? Deve ser a cidade lá em... Lightfall. Cara do céu, velho. Eu não sei, velho. Não sei o que é isso. Eu também não sei, cara.
It's all here. It's all happening now. Things are finally coming to a head.
Thematically, we really have been honing in on that kind of bombastic.
Cara, não sei, eu tô boiando, velho. Eu também quero...
Be over the top action, adrenaline pumping like the whole time.
This is really kicking off the conclusion to the Light and Dark saga, where we finally face down.
Poder de Neo, é. Caralho, a temporada é às 2 horas, Rada. A temporada é depois disso daqui. Mas esse daí é o anúncio da Lightfall do ano que vem. Witness. Ó o Carlos, velho.
Alice is really crash landing with a new and more powerful army than ever before. They've got new powers, they've got new armor, they've got tormentors to join their ranks that are going to be bigger and badder enemies than we've ever.
Eu acho que aquele ali é a transformação do Carlos depois que ele recebe a treva. Vamos ver os anúncios.
Everyone is coming to have a last stand with Callus and the Witness to really avoid the next collapse, something that we've been trying to avoid ever since Destiny 1.
Cara, até doido, cara. Que é isso, velho? A nave do Carlos lá. Netuno.
There's been this hidden city called Neomuna where an alternate version of humanity has been blooming since the collapse.
Caralho!
The capital city of Neptune. It's a giant metropolis that we were completely unaware existed until now. What's interesting and exciting to me about this place is that it's
O que? Que negócio que na tela o que?
a lot of the places that we've explored previously in Destiny.
Que é, Hack?
Exploring that
Não me assusta, cara.
very cool.
There's so
Negócio da
much
tela é
new
eu.
stuff to discover in Neomuna and in Neptune. And also I saw some new characters there. I'm really excited to get to know Cloud Striders and...
Quem que é essa porra, velho? Será que é a nova... É esse daí? É a nova raça aliada.
Can be compared to Guardians. They're both protectors of a civilization that's potentially under threat. But Guardians were chosen. It's their duty to...
Ah, é um drop off? Aí é foda. Ah, não vou olhar agora não, desculpa.
To learn from the Cloud Striders and their way of living and their philosophy of life.
So we've got the newness of that city, the newness of the Cloud Striders that we've never been aware of.
And then, of course, you get a glimpse of this green energy. I wonder what that is.
Strand is the new darkness power.
Filamento.
Here. Something that's unique about Strand, unlike any of these other powers we've ever had before, when you play through Lightfall, you are discovering this power for the first time. No one in the universe, ever in the history of Destiny, has used Strand before.
This is the Guardian discovering darkness on their own and learning how to shape it and manipulate it and use it against Callus and his forces. And, you know, have fun in the new urban environment of Neomuna. You are really gonna have to prepare yourself for a wild ride.
Caralho, velho, que foda.
Our new destination, Neomuna, our new foe, Callus and the Shadow Legion, paired with the Witness and a very brief glimpse at Strand, but that's just barely scratching the surface of what this release has to offer.
Right, like what we've just seen in that trailer is just the tip of the iceberg, and we've got a whole lot more we're excited to show you coming up.
Por favor, me mostre mais.
Last year, we wanted to return to our studio's roots in creating some of the best shooter campaigns in the industry.
That's been our legacy since Halo, and we tried to push that front and center in The Witch Queen.
And it's about more than just
Caralho, velho, tô nem sei o que dizer, velho.
Then we added the legendary campaign option because great combat needs to challenge you, to test your thumb skills.
Sim, esse eu achei legal.
And we heard loud and clear that you want more of that. In fact, 2 out of every 3 players that completed the Witch Queen campaign did it on Legendary.
You tested yourself against the Witch Queen and her Lucent Hive and rose to that challenge. And then you let us know it was one of the best shooter experiences that we've ever made.
So with Lightfall, we want to push that even
Tô
further.
hypado.
We give you the best Bungie action.
Ah, toma teu cu, Hack. Para de baixar minha empolgação. Toma teu zóio. A primeira temporada é sempre foda, cara, quando lança a expansão.
Neptune is this fantastic destination. The capital city of Neomuna is a really fun place to explore, and it's this bright neon metropolis. There's a harbor, office buildings, an arcade.
This is a city that we've made, and using
Mas a armadura parece estar legal, velho.
and explore it, it's going to be so exciting.
There's some places that once you whip out that grappling hook, ooh, you're going to be able to explore and get to places that you couldn't before.
Look at that.
Uou, que legal, velho.
I'm going to be a kid in a candy store.
Que legal, velho.
It's not a city that is collapsed.
Acho que tá desabilitado os drop, Hack, não sei.
Neptune now has to deal with the cloak being pulled back and them being revealed to the world and are now central of the conflict.
Callus has taken his capital ship and just like planted it right down in part of the city, and it's Cabal occupied territory. It's a city under siege. You've got this.
Não, tá habilitado sim.
You feel like a tactical team going into a skyscraper.
Tá habilitado o drop na minha live.
Patrols all throughout the city.
É esperar, o primeiro drop é em meia hora só.
They provide that like characteristic Cabal brute strength. They're all about like volatility and power, and they've been enhanced now by pyramid technology. They have these suppression devices that can take away some of your super, take away some of your abilities, and then they fight alongside these terrifying.
Primeiro drop é só em meia hora.
Tormentors.
As part of his discipleship to the Witness, Callus has been upgraded, and so the tormentors that they've brought in are these
Nada, 2h pouco tem que trabalhar. Tô no almoço.
They wield scythes. They can attack from a distance. They can bring you in close. They can drain your very life force from you.
Caralho, que bicho foda da porra, velho.
Boss character within the battlefield. Your stomach drops. You're like, okay, I'm playing through. I'm having fun. I'm popping heads, doing this thing, and then boom, there it is.
We've got all the new stuff going into the game. Strand, Tormentors, Shadow Legion, a cool new environment.
Mais deuses pra gente matar, essa é a ideia, Rada.
And we're still making sure that we go through and we tweak and tune and we balance the encounters to have that right challenging level of difficulty for players.
The Legendary campaign was a huge hit coming out of the Witch Queen. It was the first time we had done that sort of elected difficulty where you could really test your skill and test your power. And so we're going to bring that back for Lightfall.
Of course, you're still going to have that higher reward tier, and we still want to make sure that you get that inside track towards being raid ready.
Cursão.
Everyone back in the studio is so hard at work on Lightfall.
Caralho.
Putting in the details
Que top,
and making
véi.
this whole release come alive and continue to surprise and delight players. I am so excited to get this out.
Lightfall is unlike anything players have seen before in Destiny, and it's another step that sends you hurtling to the conclusion of the Light and Dark saga.
Tem grana da Sony agora. É. Caralho, o poder. Realmente, a Sony comprou. Espera só que não.
Come on, amazing.
I'm super excited to dive into Strand and
Filamento.
all the new stuff that we just saw.
Strand, like Stasis, is a power from the darkness. Unlike our light abilities, which are all about creation,
Agora tem o hype, vai.
Strand is psychic energy that forms this extra dimension, this sort of matrix.
Cara, tá foda filamento, velho.
All living beings and all minds, and you, the Guardian, are sort of gaining the knowledge and gaining the power to peer into this alternate psychic universe and begin to pull at these threads and tug at these wires that are connecting.
Carai, que foda, velho.
Beings.
When Guardians learn how to use Strand, it's almost like this third eye opens up. It's about peeling back the curtain of reality, taking those connections.
Ó, o Titã, eu achei foda o Titã já, velho. É foda que eu jogo de arco. Ó.
Like, it's always been there, and now that we can tap into it, we can use it for our benefit, whether it's through movement or through damage.
Strand has a grappling hook. Since you're seeing
Caralho, velho, muito top.
you're able to grapple at any point because the cosmic web exists everywhere. Even if there's not an object there, it will hook on to that web and pull you forward.
É assim como Homem-Aranha anda pela cidade sem ter prédio. É, agora, né? Agora descobrimos.
Initially started as part of the hunter's kit, right? They're all about fluid movement, rapidly traversing space and being very agile.
Pra que pardal? Foda-se. Aí, ó, Felipe. Tu tava preocupado com o teu pardal aí, ó. Não precisa mais de pardal. Quer dizer, ainda não. Ainda precisa. Olha aí que foda, cara. É, se fosse só pra caçador ia ficar muito escroto, cara.
Wanted to come up with how each of the classes interpreted this additional psychic dimension, like in their own way, right? So the Warlock, they're the telekinetic master of Strand. So they're going to be able to telepathically reach into the Strand dimension, pull matter out,
É.
and weave it into this.
Lançador de teia no Destiny. Caralho, velho, que foda, velho.
Are actually going to unravel, sort of reweave themselves into a new form.
With the Titan, you're able to weave these claws and do an area of
Olha o
damage
hack pra tu, ó.
around you,
Tu e o Felipe aí, ó.
slashing.
Caralho, que foda, velho.
Most excited for is the Hunter rope dart super. The Hunter does a flip and weaves these strands into this rope dart and is swinging it as they're kind of.
Aqueles vai estar uma beleza. Olha isso, cara, que foda.
Even in its kind of like rough state, it just blew my mind. We've learned a lot from creating our other subclasses, and we've taken those learnings about.
Cara, a movimentação vai ficar insana, velho, no jogo agora. Agora não, ano que vem.
I'm so excited to see where players take it once it's out there in the wild.
Olha isso, cara. Cacete, velho, que foda. Caralho, velho. Vai precisar de server aqui depois dessa. Com certeza. É hashtag servidor SA Destiny.
And since last year, over 5 million new Guardians have joined our ranks.
Caralho.
I believe that there are still millions more of your friends that would love to play Destiny with you. And the things that you want to see us improve in Destiny are also exactly what's going to make it easier to convince your friends to come and check out the game.
É, não foi muito difícil convencer o Felipe a voltar a jogar.
Easier to find people to play with. Easier to swap from being that boss melting, storm chaser wielding, falling star juggernaut right into that ultimate yeehawing, dead man's tail shooting, Titan's rampart crutching sentinel.
And if none of what Joe just said makes sense to you, we want to fix that too. Because it's not about removing the depth that makes Destiny so great.
Também peguei bruxa rainha. Olha, ó. Cola Discord pra jogar, caralho. Jogando direto aí. Ainda mais fazendo as lives. Vai, nova temporada agora. Fala sobre a nova temporada, vai.
Destiny easier to come into. Changes to how you build your characters, changes to how you see what there is to do and what there is to accomplish.
Oh, não tem como não ficar hypado, velho. O filamento eu achei muito foda. O Kalos apareceu a primeira vez, cara. Primeira vez que a gente viu o Kalos. Aí tomar no cu, velho.
Keep on hearing from players like, hey, unless I have a friend to play with, I don't know what to do. And so what we're trying to give them is like, hey, here's a path to follow. Guardian ranks are.
Tu não viu, Hack, o Kalos?
Knowledge ladder. We actually progress you through.
Caralho, velho.
It's really like heavily focusing on.
Apareceu o Kalos.
Systems of Destiny.
At some point, the story about you as a Guardian involves other Guardians and what they think about you. That is just a.
Depois eu volto e mostro pra você, Hack. Peraí, vamos ver aqui.
We've never really explored before. When you show up in the tower and you see that person who's at one of the highest ranks.
É, apareceu só a cabeça, mas.
Looking at a player who's actually really demonstrated mastery.
É, só apareceu a cabeça, o corpo não. Então, tipo, uma das teorias que ele tem 4 braços. O rosto é um pouco parecido com o robô, sim, Hack.
Will actually be asking for you to step up, to actually rise to the occasion and prove to other Guardians that you are a strong player and a strong leader.
A lot of people have groups that they already play with, but this will really provide people the opportunity to be recognized for helping other people learn the game, but also provide more people to play with on a regular basis.
In the year of Lightfall, we're going to actually be investing in building a looking for group system in Destiny.
Tô brincando na torre atualmente, esperando a nova temporada. Eu só vou poder jogar depois das 6, eu tô só pra ver o anúncio mesmo. Mas bora jogar depois, cara, entra no Discord.
Hard content solo and making it so much easier to find people to play with is just going to make getting into Destiny and doing the awesome content so much easier.
Yeah, and they'll be able to say, this is a player who I can trust to lead me through the new raid. I want to join their group. Or they can say, these are players who are new to the activity. I want to take them for that first raid because that'll be a great experience for them and a valuable experience for me as a leader.
Aqui. Quando não, né? Me diz quando não. Quando não ajudei.
It's going to make the game so much more social, and I think that it's going
Né?
to really make Destiny players feel like they're on one team.
Então. Eita.
Accommodations is a feature that you'll experience towards the end of an activity. So you end the activity now and you get to see the screen that has all the people you played with. You can click on one of the guardians and choose what experience you had with them. So like, were they a good team player? Were they fun?
Nossa, vai ser bom, isso vai ser bom.
There's no better way to actually show how good a person is as a teammate or as a leader than to have other
Vamos poder dar uma estrela pros caras tóxicos das atividades.
Let players show appreciation for each other.
Also using the commendation system, people are going to be able to say like, hey, this person as a good leader and looking at the Guardian rank system, they have a lot of experience. It's going to be, oh, that's the person I want to help me get through this hard content that I've been struggling with.
Social games
like Overwatch, é verdade.
Like really connect with other people and do things together and get to know each other. And with a system like LFG, you're making it so that more people can get that experience started than ever before.
Both the loadout screen and the mod manager are completely new features.
The mod manager is meant to make build construction Destiny a lot
Nossa senhora, gostei.
Fashion game's amazing. And so we're going to take what we did for the fashion game and we're bringing it to the Buildcraft game. There's going to be one screen where you can go to and do your entire loadout for
Gostei. Boa.
Amazing.
So you'll be able to save the build that you've put together as a loadout and then switch between those things as you're going from activity to activity.
Você vai estar pra salvar loadout, velho. Que foda. Caralho, salvar loadout, cara. Que foda, gostei. FF. Não vai prestar. Ainda bem que é só ano que vem. Opa! New season. Bora.
And I think we've been able to deliver some amazing character moments and events for the community.
We're a long era of content droughts. Instead, there are exciting story and events happening
Bora.
every week, year round. And we're not slowing down.
Each season, we want to keep raising the bar for narrative experiences in any live game.
Por favor.
We keep pushing to create unexpected adventures that'll make every season of Destiny unique.
Tá precisando.
We want to keep listening and learning from you, the Destiny community, so that we can create the strongest seasons of any live service.
Por favor, tamo querendo.
Is coming. And if we want to survive, we need a crew.
No.
Feeling surly, maybe even
loot our enemies. Pirata, velho, que nem os vazamentos.
Captain to join us on our next adventure in the Season of Plunder.
Season of Plunder. Temporada dos Corsários. Gostei do nome. Ela tá viva.
Já li sobre elas. Como dizem os humanos?
Piratas. A vanguarda inteira deve ser mobilizada para enfrentá-las.
O Aranha. Puta, o Aranha apareceu de novo.
Bom, levantar âncora. Mostre aos piratas o que acontece quando batem de frente com o aranha.
Ó, a skin do Titã tá top, Felipe. E hack. Ou pelo menos o Elmo tá top. A nova atividade. Olha, ó. Parece do New World esse Elmo. Oh, oh. Oh. Começa hoje, começa daqui a pouco, daqui meia hora. Ah, escopeta nova, não me agradou a escopeta, mas... Ó o arco. Ó o arco 3.0. Ai, ai.
Foi mal. Acabei me deixando levar por esse clima de aventura.
Ah, não, velho. Eu falei desde o primeiro dia, a Eramis não morreu. A Eramis tá viva e ela vai se soltar.
What are you most excited about for Season of Plunder?
Pirates.
Piratas espaciais. Não, não vai dar de pilotar. Vai ficar saltando de uma nave para outra.
And then we're also learning a lot of things about some of our favorite characters.
We're gonna have an adventure this season.
Season of Plunder kicks off with Aramis being freed from her icy prison.
Oh.
She's collected old, fallen crews of pirates and rogue cabal together in order to hunt down mysterious relics and treasures.
It's time to meet your end.
So Guardians are tasked with stopping Aramis from collecting these relics. And in order to do that, you have to create your own crew of shady dealers and backroom brokers.
Drifter, Mithrax, Ido, and Spider are going to be helping you.
Anchors away. Ready when you are, Captain.
That's the beginning of Season of Plunder. What you're going to be doing is forming a pirate crew of your own. You're going to fill it with different crew members that you can recruit over the course of the season. Drifter is going to toss you the keys to your personal catch. Then you're just going to set out into the stars and do cool pirate stuff.
So excited.
This season, we have multiple brand new activities coming that will really give you a sense of being on a pirate adventure. One of the mainstays of this season is a new 6-player offensive called Catch Crash.
Catch Crash.
I saw the concept for the catch with the big mainsails on it. I just said, oh my god, this is going to be a fun season.
Just like seeing Catch Crash through the different iterations, like fighting on the deck of the ship.
You get to become your own ammunition and launch yourself from a cannon to the other ship. And you
Padrão, não é a primeira vez que a gente já fez isso. Eu tô mais empolgado com a Super 3.0.
The second big activity we have coming this season is called Expedition. You're going to be guiding a massive drill that's looking for this buried, hidden pirate treasure, and you're going to have to be fending off of all these pirate crews trying to protect their hoards. And then our final new activity coming this season is what we're calling pirate hideouts.
We have so many like different little maps that you can piece together fragments of this season, and they lead you to the lair of the pirate lord, right? Their hideout.
These are their caves where they're hoarding all of their amazing treasures and their mysterious relics.
These relics are mysterious objects of dark power, and they're all over the system. We don't know exactly what it is they do yet, but if Aramis is trying to collect them, it's nothing good.
Taking the opportunity to line the ARC 3.0 update with the Fallen, it just ended up working out perfectly because you got all the simple ARC weaponry and the ARC shielded captains. It feels right with that release, almost like we planned it.
ARC is a damage type that's about proximity, right? It's about going fast up into your enemy's faces and like deleting them. It's the damage type for people that want to hold W. You don't want to retreat.
Unbridled aggression to the max.
Hunter is really about close range action, being fluid and dynamic and agile, evasive. So we're going to give Arc Hunter a new super. We call it Gathering Storm, where you summon your Arc Staff, like twirl it above your head and then launch it out, and then it will embed into the ground or into like bosses or mini bosses or champions and jolt them. Like a big lightning strike will strike the staff.
Caralho, que foda,
When the
velho.
staff is overcharged, it'll start Tesla coiling little lightning bolts out at nearby enemies. Warlock is kind of this elemental conduit. You are a class that will turn yourself into lightning. You will create things out of lightning. Previously, we had this exotic armor piece called Getaway Artist, where you consume your grenade and it'll make a what we call a sentient arc soul that fires faster, and does more damage as a result. So we decided to roll that into base arc soul behavior. Anytime you are amplified, any arc soul you have from any source will become the supercharged version that will fire off just rapid fire bolts.
Caralho!
Titan's about being this unstoppable freight train. It's about this constant movement. So we gave Titans a new movement option. Something that we felt
outra ombrada.
Environment of air dodges and air slams. That's a new ability called Thruster. And it's all in first person. It's all very much in the heat of the moment. You see it happen. Its whole property is like rush down or get away. It's a movement tool to the max. There's gonna be new
Puta que pariu. Já cantaram a pedra ali mesmo.
Fist of super flashy. It's our first ever charge melee. So you hold down the button, and as that cocks back and charges up, you'll end up doing more damage and getting a little bit more range. And speaking
Caralho.
of the goal of deleting things, I believe in PvP a full charge is a one-shot kill.
It is, oh yeah.
It's a little skillful to like
Puta que pariu. É o hit kill essa merda, velho. Ah, mas tem que carregar, isso é uma vantagem, cara. Demora pra aplicar essa porra.
Hit hard and stay alive.
Mais cholo pro Titã, é.
Season of Plunder is that this is really a season that has a sense of adventure. You're exploring the system, you're looking for pirate treasure, pirate relics. You're seeing the world evolve in a way we haven't done before.
I love that with the activities in the season, like we just leaned really hard into the pirate fancies. I love that we have your own catch. I love that you're tracking down buried treasure and then going after the pirate leaders in their caves.
The interesting thing about Destiny is we're not just a fantasy game or a sci-fi game, we're kind of a blend of both. We take inspiration when we say pirates, it's old world pirates that you would see traditionally back in the 70s.
Vão nerfar essa esquiva. Não, nada contra a esquiva, né? Mas vamos ver, é tempo de recarga. É tudo isso, né? Porque se eles nerfar só no PVP tá de boa, só não estragar no PVE.
The gift of the Thunder Gods is a starter kit. It's a set of armor, it's a Thunderlord.
Whoa.
So jump in, join your friends, set sail, become the captain, and build your crew today in Destiny.
Hoje mesmo, hein, Rada? Se prepara. Ah! Queda do rei. Bah, piazão. Vamos matar um Orcs. Vamos matar o Oryx, piazão. Aí, ó, falei. A queda do rei, velho.
Man, it is so awesome seeing King's Fall return to Destiny.
Yeah, actually, King's Fall was the first thing I got to work on at Bungie. And I'm thrilled that a whole new generation of Guardians will get to experience this refreshed and reloaded showdown.
Pior que eu queria fazer essa raid, velho.
We've shown you Lightfall. We've shown you the new damage type, Strand. We've shown you some of the deeper changes to the game that we're going to be making throughout the next.
Vai lá, beleza, Hack. Até mais.
One more thing that we are excited.
Valeu, falou. Até depois.
Destiny is coming to the Epic Game Store.
Epic?
Today.
Epic has been an absolutely fabulous partner to work with. They love Destiny. And we are just huge fans of what they've been doing in the social game space. When we first started working with Epic, we sat down and talked about the impact.
Do Fortnite aí, ó.
Same stories for us.
They shared stories about playing the Vault of Glass and how much they enjoy the social experiences in Destiny. And I got to talk about the summer of Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 5, when my whole family was laser focused, taking turns in the island to unlock Drift.
Agora a carteira vai de base.
All of Destiny 2 on the Epic Game Store today. For the next week, if you download the game on Epic, we will give you the 30th anniversary.
Porra, Felipe. Aí, ó. Não precisa nem comprar o pacote de 30 anos. É só começar a jogar de zero.
We want to welcome all these new Guardians with a celebration. One that stretches a little further than the last city.
Olha o cara, olha as skins. Ó as skins. Meu, até no Fall Guys, cara. Caralho, já tá disponível no Fortnite, cara. O arcaninho do Fall Guys. Ah, não, hoje, velho. Não, não, F não!
A few years ago, we shared our plans for the light and dark.
Não, vai ser de graça
This journey,
na Epic,
years in the
isso.
making, is coming to an end. Since we started charting our own course, we've been building this story. Across 5 years of expansions, since the first pyramid ship emerged in Shadowkeep and we first spoke to the darkness. Then, across Beyond Light, the Witch Queen, and coming up in Lightfall in the final shape, we're building towards a climactic collision between the powers of light and dark.
We've also been working on the Destiny engine behind
E dá de acessar o jogo também pela Epic. É, mas se você tem conta na Steam, acho que fica na Steam. Não tem como. Não tem como logar a conta da Steam na Epic. Talvez que, quem sabe, se você migrar.
since we first communed with the darkness on the moon to be fully playable.
Vê se tu consegue migrar, mas daí eu acho que daí tu perde as expansões da Steam.
Not planning to sunset any more expansions. We want the Destiny universe to grow.
Eles não vão mais tirar conteúdo, graças a Deus!
To keep that possible within our game engine.
But enough about the distant future. Let's talk about today. The best day all year to jump into Destiny.
Yes, because if you're looking to catch up, right now, all expansions are free to play for this entire week on every platform for everyone.
Right now, Season of Plunder is live, and the Helm's got a set of supercharged art gear for anyone looking to catch up on the fun.
Destiny is live on the Epic Game Store. You can download it for free, and you can get the 30th anniversary pack as your welcome gift.
And if you liked what you saw about the future, right now, pre-orders for Lightfall are live on all platforms. And anyone who purchases the annual pass gets the exotic auto rifle Quicksilver Storm today.
Today is a perfect day to play Destiny.
So we'll see you in game.
Caralho, se comprar... Quer dizer, se comprar não. A porra da expansão tá de graça, velho.
Quando verem este glorioso eles verão atrás de nós.
Já li sobre elas. Como dizem os humanos?
Piratas.
Cara, é uma armadura de Oryx, velho. O que o Titã tava usando, velho. Porra!
Deixem que venham.
Olha o Carlos aí.
O que fizerem, então, mostrará quem realmente são.
Tenho que vazar agora. Se fala de noite. Beleza, valeu, Felipe. Caralho! Caralho! Ô. Acabou? Acabou? Depois eu ver isso aqui. Caralho. Ó, agora eu vou ver esse videozinho aqui, aproveitar aqui a deixa.
Esse universo é feito de luz e treva. Essas forças primitivas permeiam toda a matéria e energia que há no sistema solar e mais além. Mas não sabíamos disso antigamente. Quando o viajante chegou ao nosso sistema solar, ele foi chamado de muitas coisas. Uma nave, um planeta, um deus. Sua presença provocou e inspirou grandes mudanças. Ele terraformou várias luas e planetas. Nossa expectativa de vida triplicou. E mandamos naves colônias para povoar mundos para além do nosso. Essa foi a nossa Era Dourada. Mas como toda Era Dourada, estava fadada ao colapso. O viajante foi seguido por um velho inimigo. Uma voz na treva. Ela nos encontrou. A humanidade perdeu tudo. Com um pouco de força que lhe restou, o viajante repeliu seu inimigo para criar algo novo. Os fantasmas. Nos tempos sombrios que vieram depois do colapso, os fantasmas escolheram os primeiros portadores da luz. Guerreiros imortais agraciados com o poder da luz do viajante. A humanidade enfrentou muitas ameaças naquela época. Invasores de outros sistemas vieram
Guerra Vermelha.
em massa. Piratas, os decaídos, vieram pilhar os vestígios da nossa Era Dourada. Os belicistas cabais vieram por territórios e recursos, por conquistas. A colmeia, devotos vorazes da morte, vieram saciar sua fome infernal. E os Vex, estranhas máquinas vivas, vieram recriar nosso mundo à sua própria imagem brutal. Mas lutamos uns com os outros também. Por um tempo, o caos reinou. No fim, porém, nós nos unimos para nos recuperar, para reconstruir uma cidade sob o viajante. A última cidade segura da Terra. Nessa cidade, a humanidade viveu pacificamente em todas as suas formas. Os humanos, os primeiros habitantes da Terra. Os Exos, fenômenos da Era Dourada. E os Despertos, um povo tocado tanto pela luz quanto pela treva. Os portadores da luz juraram proteger a última cidade. Com o passar dos séculos, ganharam o título de guardiões. Os titãs, exemplos de força e bravura. Os arcanos, magos eruditos treinados nas artes arcanas. E os caçadores, aventureiros corajosos dotados de astúcia. Os guardiões sabem que quando se unem, ficam mais fortes. E agora, novas ameaças usam nossos próprios poderes para nos atacar. A frota das trevas se aproxima, levando-nos rumo a um segundo colapso. E o nosso maior adversário, a voz na treva, foi revelado. Um ser de poder inimaginável, a testemunha. Mas nem tudo está perdido. Novos guardiões renascem todos os dias para moldar o futuro do nosso sistema solar.
Ó, deu uma arrepiada aqui, cara. Desculpa, mas dá uma arrepiadinha aqui muito boa, velho. Caraca, velho. Ó, tá emocionada, cara. É mesmo emocionada. quero dizer nada não, mas foi, cara.
And it's really cool because, as Kat was saying, we've gone to a lot of like abandoned places, a lot of nature ascendant places, places falling apart or overrun. But New Muna is like this. It's a civilization that the people believed in, and it was.
É isso aí. Muito obrigado aí, pessoal que acompanhou. Até mais tarde tem live de season nova. É nóis. Até depois, valeu, fui!